Hi everybody, welcome to my introductory video on the different types of diets that you can feed your pet. The purpose of this video is to give you as a pet owner some more awareness around your options in order to help you make informed decisions. The first one that I would like to discuss with you is commercially available processed diets. Now effectively this is kibble or dry food and canned food, as well as the cooked loaves that you can buy from supermarkets or pet food chains. Now these commercially available processed foods, if you're going to the supermarket, are often more cost effective. When you're purchasing them through specialty pet food suppliers or specialty pet food shops, you'll have a wider variety to choose from, and understand that generally speaking, the more that you're willing to spend, the higher the quality of the food product will be. And you can also get them through veterinary clinics. So the products that you get at veterinary clinics may be recommended to you based on a condition that your dog has, based on their age, based on their weight, or based on their breed. Commercially available raw diets. So these here are uncooked products that are available either through your supermarket or through specialty pet food shops, suppliers and chains. Now, the ones that are available through the supermarket are often a raw meat with a vitamin mineral mix and a preservative added to them to help the food last longer, as it generally hasn't been frozen. Through your local pet food supply, they may make a commercial variety themselves. Now, if they are making a product themselves, just make sure that you ask them what recipe they're basing it on, if you can have an ingredients list, if there's a nutritional panel, and basically where they're getting their nutrition information to produce this product. If you're feeding this type of food to your dog exclusively, you want to be aware of exactly what is in it so that you have a good understanding that it is nutritionally balanced. The final commercial raw product that you can buy is through most specialty pet food shops, and some veterinary clinics may also stock it, and it's your frozen bath patties. Now these are really quite good products. They have all the ingredients listed on the back. Some of them, depending on what kind of processing they've been through, may have also been listed to meet specific nutritional guidelines that the commercial dry foods and canned foods must meet. There also may be a nutritional panel on it. Being a frozen product, there's no preservatives added, and most companies that are making these often try to make them with all natural whole food ingredients rather than reaching for a multi-purpose vitamin and mineral supplement. So that's your commercially available raw foods. Next one I would like to talk to you about is your homemade, cooked and raw diets. Now with these you can choose to feed unbalanced, which is basically like what grandma used to make: chuck some mince and some rice and some pasta and some veggies in a pot, cook it up and feed that to your dog. So that's the unbalanced option. There's ratio diets, which is where based on a percentage of your dog's weight, you're feeding a specific percentage of meat, bones, offal, vegetables, nuts and seeds, fish, eggs and dairy, those types of things. And then the other way that you can feed a homemade, cooked or raw diet is by nutritionally calculating everything. So whether you work with a nutritionist such as myself, or whether you go out and purchase a software program that helps you do that, you can look at your dog's caloric intake, the individual ingredients that you would like to feed your dog, and then the nutritional value of each of those ingredients. Add it all up until you're creating a recipe that meets your dog's specific needs based on whether it be the NRC guidelines, AFCO, or the European guidelines. Whatever happens to work for your dog and whatever happens to work for you, or whatever program or nutritionist you happen to be working with. So that's the homemade diets. The final type of diet that I'd like to talk to you about is hybrid diets. Now hybrid diets is where people are mixing commercial foods and homemade foods, or it may even be a commercial raw food. So that's where you're feeding, majority of the diet is either mostly dry food, sometimes people also do this with canned food, and then around about 20 to 25% of the diet has been made up of fresh foods. So this could be fresh meats, fresh eggs, appropriately selected vegetables and dairy, appropriately selected fruits. it could be a bath patty, all those sorts of things. A lot of people use a hybrid diet when they're not really quite sure exactly what type of diet they'd like to follow, and they're moving towards either a homemade cooked diet or a commercially available raw diet, but they just can't afford those options, or they're not sure how their dog is going to cope with it. So just to recap, the different types of diets that you can feed your dog is a commercially available processed diet, and this effectively is dry food and canned food. Commercially available raw diets that are available from either your supermarket, from your pet or your pet food supply. The homemade raw or cooked diets, and then there's the hybrid diets. Now, I hope this information gives you guys a little bit more light on the different types of options for the sorts of foods that you can feed your dog. Then based on this, you can work out what's within your budget, what you have time to be able to do, and you can start researching each one of these different sorts of categories to see what maybe might suit your dog.